Hello and welcome everyone to Cybercast Episode 152, the Transformer Action Figure Podcast Show. My name is Josh, also known as G1 Hextron. I am joined with my co-host Dakota, also known as PrimalSabbath. Where can people find you, man?
You can find me Facebook, YouTube, whatever at Primal Sabbath.
All right, and our other co-host Paul. Where can people find you, man?
You can find me YouTube and Twitter at Optibotimus, and then my Facebook page is facebook.com/thebottomist.
All right, and we are joined with our guest David. He runs the M.A.S.K Comics Facebook page. So I will have all his links on wherever you can find him. In the description is following the show. But David, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people where they can find you, man.
Hi, my name is David Guivant. I'm from New Caledonia, South Pacific Island. It's a French colony located between Australia and New Zealand. By the way, William Scott Crawford is the one running M.A.S.K comic.
Oh, okay.
But since I was doing a fan film project, so he sort of co-share with me the administration with the page, actually. But he runs the blog. So there's three of us. There's Jose from Puerto Rico. There's me from New Caledonia, and William Scott Crawford from Scotland, actually. So he's the main webmaster guy.
And where else can people find you? I know you had an art thing as well that you said.
Yeah, I'm on ArtStation. So if you can type David Guivant, you can find my work on my fan work on G.I. Joe, Transformers, and I'm also working on a M.A.S.K fan film. So there you go, ArtStation. And also on Vimeo.com, you type my name, Guivant, Guivant. Then you'll find my page with an Iron Man fan film and Captain Future fan film as well.
All right, and I'll make sure that I have all those links and stuff like that in the description as soon as following when this goes into video form.
Yep, no worries.
Couple of announcements. Cybercast, we have one going next week, episode 153. We're going to have guest Pete Sinclair with Fun Pub. He's going to be there discussing JoeCon. And speaking of JoeCon, it's been approved through 2018, so we'll see another 2 years of that with Fun Publications. Optibotimus, you're going to have a hangout tonight, so you want to tell people where that is and where they can find that and what time?
Yeah, I'll post the links on Twitter and Facebook. Usually when that happens, it'll take place an hour after this show. Which lets me eat dinner and stuff, but it's ustream.tv/channel/Optibotimus.
All right, and a couple of you guys were asking for us to do kind of like an after show and aftercast after the Cybercast. You just wanted to kind of hang out and stuff. If you're interested in doing that, it's going to be non-live, but as soon as this show's over, we'll say about 10 minutes after it's over, I'll put a link on the Facebook page on mine, the G1 Hextron. And if you guys want to join, hang out a little bit, then that'll be available for you. Another little thing here, a collection spotlight. We don't have one for this week, but that's kind of a good thing because we have so much to cover. If you want to have your collection spotlighted on the Cybercast in about 10 to 20, 25, however big your collection is, just kind of fit that in there with a number of pictures. And send those photos and what you want to be referred to, whether it's on Twitter or YouTube, whatever your regular name, to g1hexatron@gmail.com. All right, so going ahead, we're going to jump into this spotlight on M.A.S.K. So I'm going to kind of give the floor to David. Just kind of, I guess, start off with giving us a little bit of a history of M.A.S.K., the comics, the cartoon toys and stuff, and, what else? Yeah, whatever else you have to share.
All right, no worries. Well, M.A.S.K was developed by Kenner in 1985, so we all grew up with all those cool cartoons, G.I. Joe, Transformers, M.A.S.K. Then, of course, most of us collected the toys. They're very small, like, I think you guys have inches, right, in the United States? Like 2 inches?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, and then it was pretty cool because from the other series, the toy could have like 2 modes, like one would be a vehicle, and the other one would be in battle mode. So you have a truck which would transform into a sort of battle truck, a tank, which is called a Rhino, and you had a sort of sports car, which would transform into a sort of jet fighter car, because it wasn't a jet. was called a Thunderhawk, and you had a motorcycle which could transform into a flying motorcycle, helicopter kind of mode. And yeah, that was pretty exciting and what was original because you had two modes into one. And then the figures, I mean, all the main characters, even the main villains, they had M.A.S.K, which would give them powers. Of course, the powers would run out, so they had to recharge them at their base, which was called Boulder Hill. It was inside a gas station, but inside there was a sort of high-tech headquarters, and that's where they would run all the operations. Now they had three different items, like the toys. They were pretty awesome, like no question about it. The cartoon series was pretty good because you guys watch Ancient Aliens, the TV show on the History Channel.
Yep.
Yeah, they were covering all that stuff back in the 80s already. So each episode they would find an ancient kind of artifact which dwells on technology, which Venom would kind of steal and develop weapons, you know. So it's pretty good. It's not like G.I. Joe where they were just fighting terrorists, you know. So there was a bit of sci-fi, fantasy, and you know, like ancient history into it. Every time they would go and find like those ancient temples, like, but they would never develop it. That's what I find it sad now, because I find the cartoon series very cheesy and campy. Like they find this technology, and then from the next episode they never mention it. Like if you found that kind of technology, you would store it somewhere, try and reverse engineer it and develop new ways to improve your vehicles or weapons, or make humanity better. That's what I'm covering in my new fan film, actually. And now, based on the comic book, the comic series didn't run very long. DC Comics released a few issues, but I think the format was too short to delve into ancient technology. So it was mainly the good guys from M.A.S.K fighting against the mayhem terrorists, Venom. And they didn't go further that much, actually. And I also acquired the UK comics, which ran much longer than the US release. The drawings are pretty amazing, but they're all very short stories, like not long enough for them to cover like ancient technology. It's like each item released stands on its own, like the cartoon was different from the comic, the US comic, and even the UK comics, where everything was pretty different. Like the designs remain consistent, but the storyline would be totally different from one another in the topics, which gave fans like a wide variety of items to sort of collect. That's pretty cool. But to me, I would prefer the toy and the cartoon. And then they ran a second series, which was called Split Second, where they changed the whole concept, and they had all those racing vehicles, which was weird because if you mention that illusion is the ultimate weapon and then you do racing together, it's like everything's out in the open. There's no secret identity. Like you're racing, but everyone knows that's Mad Tracker and Miles Mayhem, Like defeats the purpose of good guys versus terrorists, I think that's what failed in the second series, and it brought down the whole franchise,
Yeah, because the Split Second was Series 4, and
Yeah.
you don't see anything after that.
Exactly. And then the racing thing didn't work for me, so I never collected any of the vehicles from the second one. I mean the other Split Second era, so I wasn't into that stuff. I already moved on to G.I. Joe.
Well, that's kind of a natural progression. I mean, at the same time, I mean, like you mentioned G.I. Joe, you mentioned Transformers, and with M.A.S.K, you kind of hit on both of those elements
Yes.
in one franchise. And if you were a fan of Transformers, if you were a fan of G.I. Joe, you could all come together and be like, here's M.A.S.K. It's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes total sense. That if or conversely, say you didn't even know about Transformers or G.I. Joe, and you just were introduced to M.A.S.K. And now you see G.I. Joe. So it's like, oh, I can like that, or oh, here's Transformers. You got robots that transform into vehicles. I mean, so if your starting point is M.A.S.K,
Yep.
G.I. Joe or Transformers is kind of also like a natural progression that you would go off to in terms of being a fan of. So that's really cool.
Hmm. Yeah, because I started with M.A.S.K, and then I kept on collecting He-Man and Silverhawks, Sky Commanders. They were the same size, the Sky Commanders, as the
Right.
M.A.S.K figures. And I couldn't find any Galaxy Rangers.
Mm.
And I had the Visionaries. Those were the last toys that I collected, and the Centurions. But they were too big, The
Yeah.
Centurion.
Yeah, those are if you were gonna play. I mean, as kids, I mean, I mean, Transformers weren't the only thing that I played with at a given time. I'd be
Yeah.
playing with Transformers, with my G.I. Joes, with M.A.S.K, with Silver. I mean, I'd have all these different things. I was just playing. I was using my imagination and making my own stories and having
Yep.
fun. So, when you bring in something like Centurions, where I mean, those things were big.
Yeah, they
So
were huge, massive.
yeah, you bring that in,
Maybe
and like,
about
this is
8
supposed
inches,
to be a
7
human.
inches.
It's bigger than Optimus Prime. This doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
So yeah, I could see that being a problem big time.
Growing up in the golden age of Beast Wars, I can,
Yeah, there we go.
proudly say we didn't really have too many issues with that.
Yeah, I didn't go into Beast War. I thought they were weird. So I moved on.
Oh. Did you at least give the show a shot?
Yep. I moved on
Okay.
to Nintendo actually later on. So I quit
Oh,
collecting. Yeah, it was more interactive. There was sound, music. Then we could play with other friends on the TV. So it's pretty cool. I thought
Terrible.
the video game was a natural progression from toys to interactive kind of world.
Yeah.
But of course, with the toys, you could imagine whatever stories you want and play with it each day or each week. Whereas the video game, you only have one kind of mission and storyline, but you could shoot as many bad guys as you wanted, with sound and music. So.
Exactly.
Well,
Better than Beast Wars.
getting
Hey,
back
whoa.
getting back on M.A.S.K. Paul kind of brought up the G.I. Joes and how it was easy for someone to go from G.I. Joe and Transformers to M.A.S.K. and M.A.S.K. to G.I. Joe and Transformers. So, if Hasbro, now that they own it, were to bring M.A.S.K. back in toy form, do you think that they would go back to that 2-inch scale that they did as far as vintage, or do you think that they would bring it into the 3 3/4 inch?
I would go for the 3/4 inch because that's the kind of standard that I love,
I think that's popular amongst toy collectors. I mean, 3 3/4 inch. I mean, you look at a lot of other. You got G.I. Joe. You got the Marvel figures. 3 3/4 is pretty standard.
Yeah, it
You
is.
even got Star Wars too. So
Star
yeah.
Wars.
Yeah, I forgot to mention about it. I mixed those Star Wars figures and put them onto my G.I. Joe vehicles as well. But the M.A.S.K ones were too small. You couldn't fit anyone in, except for the Sky Commanders. They could fit in there, but not the G.I. Joe.
Now,
Yeah.
the only problem with doing a 3 3/4 inch for let's say M.A.S.K is I know that they came out with the dual packs, the 2 packs where you could just pick up 2 characters and no vehicle. Most people though, they want the vehicle. It's kind of part of the character is having the vehicle and also the figure and the mask and stuff like that. So you'd want to come out with several of them. Then you're talking about for that 3 3/4 inch. Now you got to try to talk Toys R Us and Walmart, all these other places into carrying your stock, and they're all huge vehicles.
Yeah, that's true. Because if you look at the Witchblade, it would be the size of the Sky Striker, the G.I. Joe Sky Striker actually.
Yeah.
Which would be very massive. And even if you got that oil tanker, what was the name? The Outlaw. That would be pretty huge actually.
I think going in, it wouldn't you know, they probably wouldn't fly, but if they went in with a live action movie that was generating some hype and some revenue, I don't
Right.
think Toys R Us, Walmart, I think they would all just totally, I think they would be like, okay, we'll greenlight it for, you know, a year's worth of stuff or half a year's worth of stuff.
Well, and you got to look at, not all of them are really large vehicles. I mean, you had some that were pretty small as well. So
Yeah.
Condor, Piranha, stuff like
yeah.
that.
So I mean, you could definitely, I think, make the case to a retailer.
Yeah. I think the biggest one is the Outlaw and the Boulder Hill base. That's it.
And I can't imagine if Hasbro were to. I can't imagine them, unless it's ridiculously successful. I can't imagine them wanting to do a play set. That's a lot of toy companies don't do play sets nowadays. So something like Boulder Hill, unless it's a really successful property, or if it becomes very successful, I don't think that Hasbro would venture down there. Do you guys think they would? I mean, that is real. I mean, the only ones that do play sets like right now are
Playmates.
Playmates with Ninja Turtles. That's the
Yeah.
only one I can think of.
I don't
Well,
think we would see play sets, no. But vehicles, like, you know, Toys R Us apparently, you know, they canned the Joe vehicles. You know, the last couple of years, the Joe vehicles haven't been selling well for them, but they don't have that gimmick in them either. It's just a vehicle, you put your Joes in it, and, you know, you shoot up the bad guys or whatever, or vice versa. But with M.A.S.K, you know, you have that transforming gimmick that, you know, the car turns into a jet and has all this, you know, firepower come out from nowhere. You know, it's gimmick driven, and I think that would work. But playsets, I don't see that happening.
Well, I mean, that Boulder Hill was a pretty gimmick driven. I mean, that's the one thing that was really cool about that vintage toy, just in general. They had, I mean, like David said, the original toy was like a gas station, and then it could open up and everything, like all the vehicles could, and then you have this base. So the gimmick transcends into that playset. That's when you're talking 3 3/4 scale, that's going to be pretty big.
Yeah.
So
Especially for a gas station.
right.
San
Because they
Diego
didn't do it
Comic-Con.
well back then. The gas station was smaller than what was originally in the cartoon, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you couldn't fit all the vehicles in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, that's interesting. Now, I wanted to ask you real quick. Right now, with a lot of comic books,
Yes.
there are a lot of crossover stuff. You see it with a lot of IDW things and things of that nature, where they're taking different properties and they're kind of throwing them in, and they're making the comic books on it. What do you think in terms of crossover comic books? What do you think Hasbro could bring in, including M.A.S.K? What kind of crossovers could you envision happening in terms of comic books with M.A.S.K?
Well, they said they're doing the regeneration, I think is what they're calling it as well. So it'll have Transformers, G.I. Joe, M.A.S.K, and
Visionaries.
ROM?
Yeah.
and ROM.
ROM.
Yeah.
And Micronauts all into one.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
I think the team at IDW will do a fantastic job at that as well. They seem to put guys on it that know, you know what I mean, know the properties.
Well,
you talk about the golden. I mean, we talked about it just a little bit ago. The golden age of toys and things like that. You know, you're looking at 80. I'm wearing a Ninja Turtle T-shirt.
Yeah.
And for the love of God, I mean, the early 80s featured some of the coolest stuff. And one thing that really makes me excited, you're looking at comic books and things of that nature, is the people that are working at IDW are our age. So it's like what we grew up with is what we love, and now we're in a position where we're able to create this fiction and bring in all these things that we love. So it's almost like that golden age has sparked a new kind of golden age with all the things that we're able to do. I mean, you see all the Transformers behind Josh there, and it's a
Yep.
lot of those Transformers are done because they were fans of it.
Mhm.
You know, the new Transformer generation figures and things like that. I mean, these guys, Hasbro, they're fans of the stuff, and they're able to make this stuff now. And comics is just one of those other things that you're able to expand and have these cool stories. I think it's terrific.
Me, I had issues when I was a kid. I read the G.I. Joe versus, well, first of all, the Transformers comic.
Hmm.
It was released from Marvel. It was pretty awesome stories. And then in one episode, they included Spider-Man, which was pretty ridiculous. So there you go, you have the first crossover.
Yeah.
And later on, I bought G.I. Joe comics in the 90s. And then they brought in Megatron in G.I. Joe. Like, it works when you play and fighting each other. Like, to have a really believable story, it doesn't fit together, Cybertron technology and G.I. Joe.
Right.
Because the legend of G.I. Joe was about Cobra Commander, like taking on revenge against Snake Eye's family. And then all came from that. And then President Kennedy, in one issue, he created the first Joe with Joe Colton. So it defeats the purpose to have Cybertronian robots come to Earth and mix them together, you know.
Right.
I mean, it would work from issue 1 to 6 and a one-off kind of thing, but to have a continuing series, it would be, you know, spoil the whole franchise and essence. And when IDW got Transformers versus G.I. Joe, I mean, I really love what they've done with Transformers by itself, and then they had the G.I. Joes brought together, and then I bought the comics, you know, because I love it, and then it didn't work, the storyline for me, you know, the artwork was amazing, but not the storyline. So I'm really like kind of suspicious on when they put all of them together. It's more like a commercial gimmick than really putting some depth and substance in there, actually.
IDW even teamed up with Marvel a couple of years back to do the Transformers and the Avengers.
Yeah.
And they managed to kind of, you know, work it in to, at least IDW did, into their kind of universe. It was just like sort of a side thing, but I mean, you're right, it's hard to have a continuing universe with that going on.
Yeah.
You know, Transformers are doing their thing, and G.I. Joe and the Avengers, you know, so on and so forth.
Mm.
But
because
yeah,
I had
I
the
agree.
X-Men versus Star Trek, which was awful.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
I agree.
but David, you're kind of worried about what the
contents actually.
do. Yeah, how there's too much in there, you think?
Yeah, because you know I'm an artist myself, and to me we were always taught that, you know, every image tells it, every picture is worth 1,000 words. If it's just for action and brawl and, you know, fighting, it's might as well put it in a video game, which would be more sense than a comic book medium, you know.
That makes sense.
Because when I watch a movie, if it's just to see some action, then it's not worth it sometimes. I want compelling stories and, you know, interesting characters. Of course, it's a nice idea to mix them together and what kind of new things you can have, but it's too much to put it in all in one comic.
Right.
Already,
Where's the development of the individual ones? You're not going to have the time to do that.
yeah, because back in the 80s, they were already doing comic books for M.A.S.K, and they couldn't cover the ancient technology stuff in the comic. It was very short stories, and it was from beginning to end, okay, I defeat the bad guy, and that's it, you know? Whereas the cartoon one, each episode had, you know, they would discover different technology, ancient temples. That's what's missing, actually. So if they want to fit Cobra and Cybertron in there, that would be really messy, actually.
Yeah, that would be a lot of stuff.
Yeah, unless they cover from issue 1 to like 50, but still, you know, it's if you take 50 issues for people to get inside, it's you know.
It would be the longest miniseries in comic book history.
Yeah.
It would have the only way to do it right would be 50, 100 issues, something like that.
Yeah, to explain everything and why they're together actually.
Right. Right. I mean, you're not going to do that in a 3-4 issue miniseries.
Yeah. Unless they cross a dimensional gate and they end up in their universe, that kind of thing, which, you know, makes sense.
Ah, the MacGuffin. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, like
I think what would be cool is slowly have both stories, ongoing stories, hint at one another to lead up to, a good, 4 or 5, maybe even 10 issue miniseries.
Yeah, but you would have to dedicate several issues from the G.I. Joe comic, exclusively. You'd have to dedicate several issues of Transformers. And
Well, like I said, using the small, subtle drops, like maybe at the end of each story or the end of each issue, that kind of progressively goes towards that. I don't see it being completely impossible, but just
Well, they've already
going
done it
straight
with G.I.
in.
Joe, you know?
Yeah.
Because I read a few issues recently, and there was like the Joes in their base, they didn't know there was some back doors, and they discovered a giant eye, and then it belonged to another robot or race or something, which was weird.
yeah, that's. I mean,
sticking on the comics, I know that this is something as far as IDW going around for the characters and what they're doing here, and we talked about this for kind of a split second here, but
Yep.
Interesting.
The big thing that people kind of have a problem with is Matt Tracker is a blonde white guy, all right, and in here he's black or African American or African English or I'm not sure, I haven't read it, but I'm just so it's not the same. She doesn't have, I believe, the same hair color either. But this is your main character, and I know that I saw on several M.A.S.K pages that they even have a petition going around, and while and they're saying that it looks like it's more of a kind of a publicity stunt to kind of like, hey, we want to be publicly correct and it shouldn't matter and da da da. But I kind of look at it as, well, if I'm watching the Avengers, I don't want to see Black Panther come out and he's a white guy,
Yeah, that's
or
true.
I see Tony Stark and then he's Hispanic or something. It's like
Or the
so many
Ghostbusters are now girls.
well, those girls are actually new characters.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
So
that is true.
We're talking about it being the same exact character.
Okay, like the original or the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck with Kingpin. Instead of being a big white guy, they made him I forgot his name, but they made him a big black guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Did they specifically call him Wilson Fisk in that movie?
I'm almost 100% positive.
I'm not gonna go rewatch that movie just to find.
Yeah, because I don't want to rewatch it either. That's why I was hoping one of you guys knew.
I'm almost 100% positive he is.
And like what I was saying with David, I said I don't like them changing up characters. And because you do have Hondo, which is a black character, and so you could put Hondo up here, because there's a Hispanic guy, there's an Asian guy, the white guy, there's the females, males, there's all, it's very diverse. So you already
Bruce
have
Sato
characters
isn't there anymore. Did you see it? Bruce Sato isn't there.
Oh yeah, Santo. I don't see him. So I don't know if there's supposed to be more characters, or I'm sure there is more than just the.
Well, the
seven.
direction they were going was it's Fast and Furious meets G.I. Joe. So you see, they're more going into the Fast and Furious kind of characters than the original M.A.S.K. So you had the Michelle Rodriguez kind of looking character, which they made it into Gloria Baker, and Julio Lopez, which also is Hispanic and more Latino than his usual self.
Interesting.
So that's the direction they're going, actually.
But growing up in the '80s, I think that whenever we want them, whenever you're introducing the same exact characters, make them the same. And I was bringing this up to you. I was like, when Optimus Prime, to me, he's always a flat-nosed truck, and so therefore, whenever I saw him in the new Transformer movies and Bayformers, the long nose, I was like, that's not Optimus to me. So it's not just. What I'm saying is, it's not just about like race or something. I'm like changing up the character from what he actually is what bothers me. So I'm just using Optimus Prime for example. But if you want to write in someone new, write in a Barricade like you did with the Transformer movie.
But Optimus Prime was changed that way in the movie because in a realistic.
But I'm using an example though.
I get what you're saying, but there's a reason behind Optimus Prime being changed in the film. There doesn't seem to be a reason between changing the race of Matt Tracker here. I mean, I don't want to get into spoilers for people who haven't seen it, but I had that similar reaction when I just finished watching the new Voltron series on Netflix. And what they did to Pidge. That's one of those that drives me nuts.
I haven't seen it yet. But to answer your question,
I'm not spoiling nothing then. I'm not saying nothing. No spoilers.
In all the cars, they had a deal with Chevrolet. That's why they had to put that different truck. So it's not a matter of having a flatbed truck. It's more like the car companies, paying them to have their trucks and cars in the movies, which is different actually.
Well, and I remember an interview with Michael Bay where he said that we conceptually took a flat-nosed truck and we wanted Optimus Prime when he was in robot mode to be a certain height, and there was no way that we could make a flat-nosed truck that tall in robot mode. Now, he kind of went back on what he said with Age of Extinction by making him a flat-nosed truck in that movie, but
that's true.
I mean, I don't know. I think that people will be fine if the Matt Tracker character turns out pretty. If it's a well-rounded and a well-written character, I think people will ultimately be okay with it as long as
they're switching up the character
spirit, huh?
They're switching up the character too, because now he's kind of like a risky kind of bad boy or something. Like it's like why like you're changing everything about Matt Tracker to where you basically developed a brand new character.
Yeah.
And you're naming him Matt Tracker.
Yeah. It's like the Fantastic Four new movie, the new Fantastic Four is the same.
Yeah, that's true.
I get diversity, but M.A.S.K it already has it there with male and females and just every single race and everything out there, and so it's pretty diverse as it is. As an 80s property, so bringing it over should be pretty simple. You got Hondo, which he came out in Series 1. He's one of the original guys, so and even in the toy line, he got a couple of different things as well. So as far as vehicles,
well, time will tell. Time will tell. We shall see.
Well, I think this is one of the manager popped up on all the M.A.S.K Facebook page to promote M.A.S.K. And he said this was for a new generation of M.A.S.K. We're not included in the target market, actually.
They don't care about us.
He said he wanted for between 8 and 14-year-old kids to delve into this universe, not us, actually. Of course, if we plunge in and we love it, it's good for them. If we don't like it, well, that's part of life, it happens,
I mean, I can understand that they need that 8 to 14-year-old demographic, target audience, I guess.
Sure.
To sell their product. I don't doubt that the adult collectors could hold a little bit of their own. I still think that adult collectors are a bigger market than what most of these companies would like to publicly admit.
Yeah,
but,
it's true.
They really need those, the drive to push for those kids, and you have to, kind of cater to them first, and whatever's left over, we kind of reap the benefits from. And I think that's how it is for Transformers.
Because frankly, do you think that 8 and 14-year-old people would buy toys these days, or they would prefer to go on a tablet and play video games?
Well, that's a whole nother kind of discussion right there. What I mean, kids nowadays don't play with toys a fraction of the amount that they're sitting there playing on a tablet. That's a whole nother Cybercast show that we.
Yeah, but there's another deal. How many families, worldwide, USA, worldwide, whatever, can afford an iPad? And so instead it's okay. I'm going to buy my kid this, $10, $15, $25 toy because an $800 iPad is just outrageous for an 8-year-old to have.
800.
I mean, $800 iPad. Yeah. What are you getting? Like 128 gig?
Dude, I don't know. I know Apple stuff is
display
just outrageous.
iPad?
Can't you just get like a Wi-Fi one? I mean, because pretty much everywhere you go, there's going to be Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are some cheaper ones. Doesn't need to be an iPad. There are some cheaper tablets,
Well, I love how Dakota thinks that we're the only developed country in the world that has iPads. There's no other everybody else is a third world.
I said
country.
worldwide. I said what do you want from me?
But he said he goes U.S. and worldwide. So there's us and you guys.
Worldwide. We're like this compared to the world. I mean, there's
Third world.
Yeah, I'm just saying tablets are expensive and there aren't a ton of rich people.
They're
just
expensive
walking
wherever
around
you
all
buy
over the
them
world.
for $800.
That's true. That is true.
Still,
So back-
$400.
Back to the question, it would be like since this is for a new generation, they might be successful and if they want to buy it, then go ahead. We're not stopping them, But if they want us to buy it, then it's pretty hard for us. It's like if you change Quicksilver from the Silverhawk into black character, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it would be weird.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how many kids? I mean, if their demographic are 12-year-olds, how many 12-year-olds do you think really know what M.A.S.K is? They probably have no clue. So seeing a black mat tracker, it only affects us.
Yeah, that's true. What if you had a black He-Man, The black He-Man or black She-Ra?
Yeah. Well, that would be really weird. A white He-Man and a black She-Ra, seeing how that they were sisters. Whoa! That's
Well,
that's
I mean, the point is like you already have these characters out there, and you not only did you change the way the character looks, but you also gave him a new kind of like bio and background. So you essentially you created a new character, and then you just gave him someone's name. It would basically be like, hey, we've got a new Transformer. He does this and this and this. But we're gonna name him Hot Rod, and it has nothing to do with Hot Rod. Yeah. And let's even say he's a Decepticon, and he's more like kind of like Starscream or whatever. The character, like you'd read it and be like, that's Starscream, but they actually named him Hot Rod and put him on the Decepticon. That's what I'm making. There's plenty of Decepticons to choose from,
right?
But why use the name Hot Rod for him? So. That's kind of the point that I see that's going on with quite a few of the M.A.S.K fans, but most of them are obviously adults, so they're looking back into the 80s, what it was.
Let me pose this to you. In the original, Matt Tracker had an adopted son named Scott. Why couldn't they have Why couldn't they have made Scott, who was a pretty big character in the original series? Why didn't they make Scott Tracker a black kid?
Yeah, that's true.
Or Asian or Hispanic.
Or anybody. I mean, if you're going to change the character, if you're going to give him a new ethnicity, because Matt Tracker is, Scott's in there too, but like Matt is.
Well, they don't have Scott and T-Bob anymore. It's canceled actually.
Oh well, so see that would have been a perfect opportunity though. If they got rid of them, that's one thing. But I think it would have been a little bit easier for if you want to bridge that gap and now have new fans enjoying it, and you want to change one of the characters, okay. But still, I think fans would have been a little bit more okay with them changing.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Scott.
But I spoke with one of the manager. And he said that they had issues with terrorism these days and all the shooting. So they didn't want to bring a kid and its robot into all the action.
Oh,
Again, there's that politically correct.
thanks, Obama.
Yeah. And Hillary. Anyway, let's not get into
Yeah,
stuff there.
but
that's what he mentioned, you know, because we asked why isn't Scott and T-Bob there? Because they decreased the age of Matt Tracker. He's a young delinquent, so too young to have to be a father.
mm,
So once they made a younger and black Tracker, like he can't have a kid, you know. And even if he had one, it would still be a baby. So you know.
sure. I think that's kind of a missed opportunity, though. I mean, I get what they're saying about, you know, little kids and not having little kids involved with terrorism and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't know. G.I. Joe doesn't seem to have much of a problem with it. What are you cackling at?
Jen. All right. So, anyways, we gotta move this along. We got two things left. Dakota, do you want to get the second to last?
Yes.
Are you able to?
In like 2 seconds.
All right. So we're in. Okay. Jen's comment. Trump's gonna build a wall around your '80s nostalgia. We're gonna make PrimalSabbath pay for it too.
We're gonna make it great.
Look, as long as you G1 fans keep paying for my masterpiece Beast Wars, I'm okay.
G-Winers.
All right.
G.I. Joe didn't do well in the box office, but Transformers has. What would M.A.S.K need to do to be successful if they were to have a standalone film?
Well, they have to keep it like the original one, like look after the ancient technology. It seems that they're going more into like the good guys versus the terrorists, and it stops there, which is okay in a way, but it's closer to the comic than the cartoon property, you know. Because once you throw the ancient technology and treasure stuff, it's more like Goonies or Indiana Jones, which is different than G.I. Joe and Transformers already. So that would be more original than, you know, just having another bunch of good guys versus terrorists, you know.
All right.
They kind of just I mean, I don't know. I guess we can't complain too much. I mean, it's like what the original one was, you know, incorporating G.I. Joe kind of stuff and transforming kind of thing. So, you know, I guess I can see it.
All right. You had a couple of things that you sent me that you wanted to talk about. So, first is
back in the 1989, Jean-Charles Lopin, which was the creator of all those series, you know, Inspector Gadget, Jason the Wheel Warrior, Ulysses 31, and it's even credited like Jean-Charles Lopin, creator of M.A.S.K. He opened up a theme park called Magic Planet in Paris back in '89, which had all of those properties together. But the technology didn't work, so it opened for like 12 days, and the machines were crashing, and all the rides weren't working properly. They even had like Inspector Gadget and Heathcliff attraction as well, so it's pretty cool. See, when you talk about mashup, that's what I was thinking, you know, it's better to have a mashup in a video game or a theme park than delve into movies and comics, you know. It would be safer, actually.
Yeah.
So you would have all these toy properties into a theme park, which would be awesome, which they did back then, but the French technology wasn't up to date, and they couldn't handle all the demanding task of all the rides, you know, which is pretty sad, you know. Because if it was a successful, they would export all those theme parks like they have with Disneyland and Universal Studios in all other countries. That would be awesome. I think it's still an idea to explore, actually. But of course, you need all these properties to be successful again in order to launch a theme park.
And I wanted to, you know, show some of the, you know, toys and stuff like that. So you got, you know, Rhino and stuff like that. There's one of Hondo's vehicles there, and there's a Hondo vehicle. Both those are Hondos.
Yeah.
He had two of them, the Hurricane and what was that one? Firecracker.
firecracker, yeah, and the motorcycle that popped off the back, which was cool.
Yep.
I had I think all Series 1 and Series 2, and then I kind of quit after that. But I know the jackhammer is not transformed correctly.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep, Boulder Hill.
Neither is that, but. And kind of in closing, but you want to talk about, kind of, M.A.S.K legacy and what you're developing here, and I'm just kind of go through the screenshots here.
Yeah, back in 2011, I was watching Transformers 3 at the movie theater. When I saw the beginning, it didn't look like Transformers. It reminded me of something else. And I see, I couldn't get my finger on it, but what exactly? Bumblebee attacking the nuclear power plant in Iran.
Oh, yeah.
And I see, it doesn't look like Transformers. It reminds me of something else. And then it hit me, it's M.A.S.K, cannons popping out of cars and everything. So why aren't they doing a M.A.S.K movie? And is anyone bringing it back to life, So I was thinking of, since I was also at the time a drawing and visual effects lecturer, so every time we work on a project like for fun, of course it's called a demo reel, and we have to pick up a topic or a theme. Some do Star Wars, and no one has ever done M.A.S.K. So why don't I do for a demo reel a sort of short M.A.S.K concept teaser, which I could submit it to Hasbro, and maybe they want to bring it M.A.S.K, but unfortunately they already bring it back, but in a different way, so it's kind of strange. But my idea is still there. Like, I didn't want to do like a copy and paste of the old cartoon, so I said, what if 10 years later, what happened to M.A.S.K? Because in the cartoon there was never a conclusion. Like Matt Tracker said, I quote Matt Tracker, he says, from the streets of Morocco or whatever part of the world, we will be chasing you, Venom, and we'll defeat you. But there was never a conclusion to it. So I say, why don't I work on a demo reel, like a concept teaser, about M.A.S.K, and I can give it a conclusion to the whole saga, So the project will last like 2.5 minutes, teaser, and then it will take place like 10 years later from where they left from Split Second, actually. So to be on par with the fans, I did ask a few of them, what would you like to see in a sequel? Like what kind of changes would you like in a vehicle? And then since I'm into also graphic design and all that stuff, I will tell you what works in the real world and what doesn't.
Right.
So I'll do a sort of very, very small sequel, and it will have what people like in like what fans would want to see, So it's like a dream come true, and it's free to watch, I'm not making any money out of it. It's like a demo reel thing,
Well, look what happened with Deadpool with their little teaser.
Yeah.
Never know.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't that basically how Iron Man kind of got the green light? It was like a fan-made sort of a teaser trailer.
I have no idea, and I'm the Iron Man fan, so you're stumping me. Yeah.
Well, back in the early days, it was John Cassavetes, that guy from, I don't know, he's an old actor, if you remember him. He was gonna be Tony Stark.
Initially, yep.
And then I had a 1990s comic scene issue, which they mentioned Nicolas Cage being Tony Stark, actually, at one point.
Oh, Nicolas Cage was going to be everybody in every movie at some point.
And then later on, I heard Tom Cruise was going to be Tony Stark, and then it didn't happen, so it was Robert Downey Jr. later on.
Well, and that was, I mean, we're going off topic, but the Robert Downey Jr. thing, that was a huge gamble.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you got to remember, back then, Robert Downey Jr. was not a very, very reliable person. But, yeah.
Couldn't have made a better choice, though.
No,
in hindsight, yeah.
I agree. I mean, he embodies Tony Stark and all his addictions and things like that. It worked out perfect.
All right, so David, want to thank you for coming on, man, and sharing sharing
No
with
worries.
us, some info about M.A.S.K and stuff like that. So definitely appreciate it. Uh, Other than that, we're gonna go ahead and get into our Transformer and action figure show, man. So definitely
Yep,
appreciate
no
it,
worries.
man. I'll talk to
Thanks
you
so
later,
much. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, man. See you later. Enjoy your
Yep.
morning.
Thanks a lot.
All right, so just to kind of recap, if you want to see the full thing, then this will be in video form after this show ends. Optibotimus, he does have a hangout about an hour after this show. For you guys that are interested, we do have an aftercast that we're going to do a non-live hangout. Just come hang out if you want to. And that link is going to be on my Facebook page, the G1 Hextron, if you want to join that. Collection Spotlight, if you're interested in that, then go ahead and send your pictures into g1hextron@gmail.com. Next week, Cybercast episode 151, we're going to have guest Pete Sinclair. He's going to come in and talk about JoeCon. And a couple little news things before we get into the screen sharing. Deal of the week, Transformers G1 season 1 through 4 on DVD for $48.50 at Amazon.
Wow.
Next thing, if you're interested in Beast Wars stuff, you can find those at the dollar bin at Goodwill. Then there's a really
More bang for your buck.
The whole
That's what I'm talking about.
behind my house the other day.
another thing here, there's a really good chance that Fall of Cybertrons will be coming to Xbox One and PS4. So we'll keep you updated on that. Paramount Pictures is redoing the Saint movie that originally had Val Kilmer. Vigilante will be appearing on season 5 of Arrow. Tyler Hoechlin, he's been cast as Superman in the CW Supergirl season 2. And Spielberg says Indiana Jones 5, quote, is straight down the pike for fans, end quote. And he will not be killing Indiana off at the end. Release date for that is July 19th, 2019. And last thing, Curb Your Enthusiasm Season 9 is coming to HBO.
Jesus, 2019 for Indiana Jones. How old is Harrison Ford going to be? Like,
They're just going to digitally...
He's like 72 or 73 right now. So
they're just going to digitally render his face on some body double.
Hey, you know, when I watched Civil War, spoiler alert, everybody, spoiler alert, there's the scene in Civil War where they had a young Tony Stark
and they did a good job, yeah.
And I'm sitting there looking at him like, holy that looks exactly like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, who does that actually? It's a company called Lola.
Really? They did an amazing job.
It was Hollywood's best kept secret until they sort of de-age Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen in X-Men 3. And people start wondering, how did you de-age them actually?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Did not
but
know
the first secret was, well, sorry to mention that, Lindsay Lohan's chest in Herbie Reloaded. Disney characters couldn't get like a big chest, so every time they retouch every shot she was in there.
Wow.
Mm.
Curse you, Disney.
Right.
Mm.
Interesting.
All right, David. I'm gonna let you go here. We got a ton of stuff to cover, man. So
you guys.
Later, man. Appreciate you coming on. And
there we blow.
There we go. All right, so just for Paul, because I know that he was bringing this up last episode.
That's the one that people are saying is Wreck-Gar.
And just some other.
I think that's just a TV truck.
What's up with the cupcakes they keep on placing everywhere? But
that size comparison, you know, like with the cigarettes.
Is it?
Two of my favorite things: cupcakes and smokes.
From now on, I'm going out and buying a whole bunch of cupcakes, and from now on, my video reviews are going to feature size comparisons to cupcakes. It's going to be awesome.
Oh man.
And for a size comparison, here he is next to a cupcake.
and some of the other stuff. Old Volkswagen van.
Looks like they pulled that out of a lake.
Well, what you weren't here for last week, but I have dubbed that Fillmore from the Cars movie.
Oh, wow.
That's who that is. That's the George Carlin Transformer.
That Apache's actually not in the movie. That's just how they get around in the Dakotas.
Probably. Hound's bumper stickers.
Switch to guns.
If you can read this, it's too late.
Taking out the garbage.
Yeah. Possibly
Looks like-
Hound.
Yeah. And you got little Autobot things here, so I guess this is Decepticon.
It's a Decepticon.
Looks like he's got some little people there, too.
Cupcakes.
I mean, he's killing little peoples.
Yeah, look at him. He's getting around.
That's
I don't think
Galvatron, everyone.
Cupcakes
Calling
in
it
there,
out.
but there's the cupcakes.
More cupcakes for Dakota.
It's like, that's how you know they're authentic set photos. These are cupcakes that we stole from Michael Bay's trailer.
There's a taco place behind there. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Dakota and I spot the food stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yellow windows.
It kind of looks like a big old Decepticon logo on the front now.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's faded.
It originally, like some of the first pictures we were seeing, still had the Volkswagen logo there.
Yep, that's what's Decepticon to me.
So Fillmore from Cars is a bad guy. Okay. George Carlin. They keep showing this helicopter. I wonder if they're doing shots of like what was his name? Drift. Because Drift, he was a helicopter.
Yeah, he had his little helicopter mode. I was kind of hoping, with it being an Apache, I was kind of hoping that maybe they were just filming the Apache and that's going to be Skyhammer or something like that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Rotor
Yeah.
Storm.
Or better yet, Whirl.
All right, these little guys, Titans Returns, Hasbro. They're all kind of like out of order and stuff, but
Yeah, I just saw like Germany had a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, the European countries are starting to get these things in, so...
Yeah, it's making me mad.
Dude, that's how it was with Transformers Prime. And then out of nowhere, we just got everything.
Yeah. Well, these are the first wave. They're not calling them Headmaster. What are they? I mean, what are they called? Titan Masters. These are the first wave of Titan Master ones that I believe are supposed to be coming out sometime this month, towards the end of this month, along with Power Mass Optimus Prime Blaster. I think Galvatron and Sentinel Prime are in this mix as well.
Yeah, the Wave 1 stuff.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. We'll call it Wave 1. It's got a fancy name.
Baby's
It's got a
Return.
ring to it.
What's it? Wave 1's got a ring to it?
Yeah.
Smart ass.
All right, what we got? Oh yeah, so seeing these guys together. All right, so you got Wave 1 here, Wave 2. This right here so far is an exclusive. So I'm going all to Cara. So I'll get mine, but seeing all four of them together there, these are the Hasbro.
All scale quite nice with each other as well.
Does not scale very well with that brainstorm that we got a couple years ago, though.
Yeah, he's kind of his own thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely, the one we got a couple of years ago is definitely meant to go with your, like, more than meets the eye shell.
Sure.
So.
You can see, the G1 versus the new Hasbro one. You can see how they kind of try to mimic a little bit of paint here. So always like seeing that. We'll get more on the Dakar though.
When I don't remember if we talked about it or if I read it somewhere, but maybe it was Dakota telling me or something. I don't remember where I saw it, but the designers for Chrome Dome went for the G1 vehicle look. They tried to replicate the look that the G1 toy had, but with the toy mode, they went more IDW look. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I don't watch the or I don't read the comics, so I think just in general it looks pretty good. Hardhead looks good.
Highbrow, yeah. I like.
I really like the way Highbrow turned out.
Yeah.
That's great.
That looks good. That looks good. Oh, you got some other stuff in the background. You got Galvatron back there. Looks like Blur. He's playing with Skullcruncher. Or no, that wasn't Blur. That looked like maybe it was not Cyclonus. Scourge.
Oh, from Team Optibotimus.
Uh-oh. What is this? Oh, this is a Team Optibotimus exclusive. Not really, but you know.
STC. And of course, you would get the sword in the STC.
Yep.
Leads me to believe that you are going to get a sword with the Takara one, because the Comic-Con one in the last couple of years has kind of like mimicked whatever Takara did for the most part, right?
Well, this is actually going to be cheaper than going with Takara, and this will be available on Hasbro Toy Shops Limited after the con.
For 12 minutes.
If that long. If that long.
I'm just gonna, I have one locked in with a buddy of mine that went in on a group buy. It's just a regular Hasbro version. I'm gonna get the Perfect Effect God Sword and call it a day.
Yeah.
I'm getting this one.
Is that one you're going to give me your credit card for? Or you're just going to mail me your credit card and let me...
I'm just going to get it on Hasbro 20.
This is exclusive. I also love the fact that Cerebros comes with a little tiny Master Sword. That's terrific. I love that.
Paul, I believe you said that this is going to be $180, correct?
Yeah, $179.99.
That's
is
cheaper than Takara.
Yeah, and it's only like $20 more than what the retail one is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with... I mean, you get the exclusive package, you get the powers. I mean, you get all that stuff. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with it. And then this is a little bit exclusive. I was talking with... I'm not going to name names, but I was talking to a gentleman who works for Hasbro, and specifically said that there are some extra Easter eggs in terms of Fort Max here that will be teased out pretty soon. So in addition to the pictures that we're seeing here, there's some extra Easter eggs that are coming that are put into this that I'm assuming are not part of the regular retail release. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Now, here's the only downfall is...
Oh, they went
with a different head.
Yeah, but see, that actually makes...
I kind of like... I would like it if they gave me both heads. Let me say that.
Yeah, but that makes sense. Like Dakota was saying, that right there screams Takara release.
Yeah.
Because in the Japanese series, Cerebros did not have a visor. He just had a regular face. So that right there, this entire thing, other than the package, screams stuff we're going to be getting from Takara.
And see, speaking of package, I really like the way, they did it with Devastator last year, where it was the face kind of on the outside. I don't know, I'm a sucker for, fancy like toy packaging, so yeah, I really do think this one looks awesome.
All right, gotta move this thing. All right, so you guys are in the chat. You're like Hasbro or Takara SDC exclusive. Here you got all three of them side by side, so you can kind of see. So you got the Hasbro in the middle because you can see that it's blue straight across here. Went with the gray. This one also has some some silver and stuff here. So
I like the white chest on the SDCC one as well.
Yeah. I really because I was gonna go Takara, but now I see this and I'm like, and it's only $20-$30 more than what the Hasbro is going to be,
right?
And that's what you'd pay for a third-party sword. I'd rather go with this one. So
yeah, just trying to get that SDCC one.
Yeah, to me, it's not worth the headache. It's just not worth the headache.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna be online that whole day, like trying to
for
get
that
the.
12 minutes. You only got 12 minutes to do it. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that looks nice.
You can see the extra little pieces here.
Yeah. And you know, in case anybody's wondering how the Hasbro retail version looks up close and personal, there's always my YouTube review on it. Shameless.
Hashtag shameless plug.
Hashtag. I'm actually well, no, I was like
Hashtag off the shelf selfish.
off the shelf, off the shelf.
Opta selfishness.
So whatever.
Pat him on the back, Hex. Primal Selfish. We're all coming to you live.
All right, so people were wondering whether this was real or fake. You can definitely tell it's real because it's mistransformed here on the front.
That and it's also been confirmed in the Toys R Us computer systems.
See, I didn't even look at that. I just looked and saw it was mistransformed. I was like, that's official.
And well played.
My question is like, why? You know, you can pick up the Takara one that is boxed a lot nicer in my opinion, for like $10 more.
No, not even. This thing is like $120.
No, well, I mean that's Canadian. It like translates to like 65 US.
Oh, does
money.
it? Oh, yeah. It is not worth it at all.
I would just get, the Takara just makes more sense.
What, you know, in the past, like, you know, the sound thing to do would be to pick up your Seekers, your Soundwave with the cassettes, your MP10, like all those Toys R Us releases. Those were all like, you know, awesome. They're so much cheaper. They I thought were worth the pickup. But with these, yeah, the cars, no. I mean, just go to Cara. You're getting them like a year and a half early.
This is a perfect case in point of where Hasbro focuses on kids, because kids are not going to buy the Takara one. They're not going to have access to Big Bad Toy Store or TF Source or whatever where they can buy the Takara one. So Hasbro is putting it out there and making it available to kids. I just think that price-wise, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever why this is roughly the same price just in general when as a mass release. Well, I mean mass release in terms of Toys R Us, but you gotta believe that they would have enough of these that you could have a lower price point on it.
Yeah, and again, how many kids do you know get up and wait for their local Toys R Us to open on, you know, truck day?
Yeah,
so
it can beat all the adults.
Beat the adults that are trying to make a profit or just trying to add it to their, you know.
I tell you, last kid that did that, man, he ended up in an aisle. So shoved him through some one of those four-way stops.
You got issues, son.
But you know, but I don't know. And then obviously, you know, Hasbro presents all of these toys to Toys R Us, and they're like, hey, we want to release all these, but you know, what do you want? You know, what's your deal? What do you guys want to carry? Basically. And
big name Bumblebee.
Bumblebee, that'll make us millions.
Yeah.
So.
All right, getting into Takara. You know, I've got the pre-orders for all the Takara so far except for Scourge and Blur for Wave 1. But you know, I mean, look at this guy. I think he looks so much better. Just going from, you know, the blue and white to, you know, blue. I just think there's a little bit more there with the Takara. So
it's a better color breakup on the Takara for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I was basically getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to say. Does the different colored arms on the side don't bother you?
Do what?
What you talking about, Paul?
The different color arms on his head. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Nah.
Nah.
Because I actually like it because I really don't look at that. I just see the the face here.
Mm.
Because if that was blue, then it'd make it look like he's got these bunny ears. These blue
Well, he
bunny
kind of
ears.
still looks like he's got bunny ears.
Nah,
Nah.
it's fine for me.
All right.
White background, you don't even see it.
Okay, so is that a knock against my video review that'll be coming?
I think this looks fine. I like it a lot.
I think it looks good. I agree.
I like this mode too. Moving on. All right, what's different, Dakota?
The little green bits at the top of the chest looks like he's got some like gums around the teeth, and that's pretty much it.
So you gonna buy this?
If it wasn't a convention exclusive, and if I can find it for a decent price, I'll absolutely buy it.
Wait a minute. Whoa. All of a sudden you're drawing lines at buying convention exclusives?
Well, it's not like it's a real convention exclusive. It's like it's a show exclusive, I guess I should
Now
say.
you're offensive. Now you're being offensive.
What's the difference
Oh,
between a
my
show and a con?
A con is, well, it's like the show is more of like an exhibition, because I think that's what these are exclusive to, is to some kind of exhibition. Apparently, like a couple of these are getting out into the wild, and a couple of retailers are picking them up at wholesale or whatever. So I don't know. Like I said, dude, if I can, and I think the black right there in the middle, I think that may be new. I'll have to go look at my Takara Rhinox, but
Well, I expect you to do this off
the
memory.
hips, I heard the hips are tighter, which is a plus. But I don't know. Like I said, dude, if I can find the three of them, I'll buy them and just never take them out of the box.
Would you buy a I'm throwing this out there for you, Dakota. Would you buy a Tankor paint schemed Rhinox?
Absolutely, I think that would be a pretty sweet idea.
You know
To
what?
tell you the truth.
Pete Sinclair, make it happen, buddy.
Yeah, in the last month that you have
Make
the
it happen.
license, just
Make it happen.
What?
please.
I still want my chip in a wheelchair.
Oh, okay.
He's
Well,
got
hey,
it on
the
that
Joe
one.
the Joe Club's continuing, so
Going on
We
here?
may-
Oh yeah.
we may see the last of our only human characters, and maybe we may get a chip. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, looking good, man. Takara, picture of in-hand Delta Magnus. Everybody's got them on pre-order. I do. I know you guys do.
The only reason why I would want that is for Marissa Fairborn. That is literally the only reason why I would want this. And I am not paying that much money for a little tiny Marissa Fairborn.
Oh, Marissa comes with Delta Magnus.
That's what, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
I
see,
didn't-
look, you can just buy the Collectors Club exclusive Marissa Fairborn, and it's
Oh, I
3
have that,
3/4
but
inch.
But yeah, but
detail.
that's too big. That's too big.
That's not what she said.
God,
Whoa,
moving on.
whoa.
I like this. I'm buying it. So it's another masterpiece figure to collect. So
What am I looking at in the back? Like over his left shoulder. It's a masterpiece box, but what is that?
It's
this
Hot
is
Rod.
Hot Rod.
Oh,
Jack.
you know what?
Ratchet,
Yeah, no.
and his.
Yeah, what was throwing me?
The shoulder missile.
The shoulder missile. I'm like, what is
Yeah.
that on the box? Wow. I'm special.
All right, getting into the third party.
Wow, already?
Your Deathclaw.
Third party.
Third party.
I'm telling you, dude, if they release this in God Neptune colors, I am all over it.
Yeah.
You like him?
I think it's
I have not been able to get into any series past Headmasters, so King Poseidon is not a character I really care too much about to get these. I think they look phenomenal, but without having the attachment to the character, I'm not going to get them.
You don't watch. You haven't watched Super God Master Force yet?
I can't get past the theme song.
Look,
It's
an
a pretty
adorable
terrible
theme
theme
song, and watch it because it's the best Transformers cartoon series.
Everybody keeps saying that, and I've probably watched the first maybe 3-4 episodes of it.
No, it's
Start
a
start
character
in the middle.
developmental. It's a
Yeah.
character developmental type series.
Mm.
But here's the thing, to where you still might not have any attachment to King Poseidon, is because these are basically, they're like drones. There's so like this guy, there's 100 of them, and so whenever they blow up one, there's another one.
Mm.
See, Beast Wars rectified that with Beast Wars Second. They're actual characters, which is nice. But I mean, honestly, Master Force is a lot like Beast Wars. Like Beast Wars Season 1, you had to kind of mow through a lot of character development episodes, and then it's like Season 2 of Beast Wars, everything picks up, and it's just fantastic.
And I think,
arguably the last half of Season 1.
yeah, and I think I could enjoy it, but I already have a big issue with things that have subtitles. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for me to have gotten through Headmasters really impressed me. And the only reason why I was able to do that was because of the attachment to G1. I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's like a whole new part of G1 that I never really got into or knew about. This is cool. So now with Super God Master Force, I'm like, now I gotta sit through the subtitles, and I don't really care about what they're doing with these characters. So it's like, it's a double-edged whammy. That's like, don't care.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, this is the gun mode for this guy. Or you gotta.
Did they ever? I know they made the terrible dub for Headmasters. Did they ever make that terrible dub for Master Force as well?
I don't know.
Oh, dude, it could be
I'm not watching those dubs.
subtitles. Subtitles are definitely the preferred of those two.
Crimson says these are the best figures that TFC has made. Better quality.
I just read that too, and I mean, looks wise, I totally agree with what Crimson Vader says. I mean, they do look really good.
All right, Make Toys Cross Dimension series. Their Optimus Prime. We can finally see what that looks like.
He's got a very, very classic Prime-ish sort of feel with that gun, because that gun looks like it becomes a wind vane. But
Yeah.
it looks awesome. I love the Make Toys. I love what they do. Their design aesthetics. I remember whenever I got their Battle Tanker, what it did to that little Reveal the Shield Optimus, and they kind of made their own makeshift mold from that for Nova Prime and their the rest of their like Battle Tanker series. Just awesome stuff.
Yeah, I see the one vein in there.
Yeah.
So you getting, Dakota? You getting?
Man, if I was a Classics collector, I would totally pick it up. It would definitely replace that Classics Prime for me.
All right, get this sucker moving along. I needed to ask because I totally forgot. Is this already been released or is this new?
That's new. Didn't iGear do one? Or no, that wasn't iGear.
Impossible Toys did one, but I thought iGear, actually Impossible Toys, I believe they did too. They did one that transformed those 2010 TFCon exclusive. Then they did kind of one that was a articulated version. I thought someone told me that iGear had done one as well, but it was like years ago. So I don't know. Maybe this is new. If it is, we're taking a look at it. If it's old, I apologize. We'll be done with it here in a minute.
I think that one that Takara did, that was a repaint of ours, is a million times better looking than this one is.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, dude, just buy the Legends Nightbird.
Yeah.
Like, you won't be disappointed with that. It even transforms. And it comes with little Psy. It's the coolest freaking thing ever. I just wish it wasn't so damn expensive. Like, I'd buy 4 of them, 5 of them, just army build Nightbirds.
Well, what's throwing me off is because I believe iGear was like, hey, we're out of the game now, we're done, and then this just kind of popped up, and
well, maybe this is their last hurrah.
Well,
out with
it wasn't a very good one to go after.
No.
Takara
We're going
one's pretty
out.
good.
We're going out with Nightbird.
If you would have showed this to me a couple years ago, man, I would have been all over it. But
Just as a super like posable figure, that's cool and all, but I mean, I don't know. I still think the Takara one is,
Yeah.
yeah, and which I mean, and this may go with your masterpiece stuff too.
yeah, but it didn't transform. It doesn't look like, or I haven't seen a picture of it.
Yeah, it probably doesn't.
Nightbird didn't transform anyhow, but yeah, I mean, we have no idea how
Oh yeah,
big this
that's
is.
right. Oh, there's all her little stuff. Yeah, you're right. She didn't transform anyway, so I guess it's pointless.
I mean, yeah, I guess if that's masterpiece scale, that could be kind of cool, but I mean, you really need a masterpiece scale Nightbird who was in one episode?
I like Nightbird. Favorite
Alright.
female character.
Hey, have at it.
Toy World.
Mm-hmm.
At their prime. Now, I know some people, they like this. I'm all about my MP10.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is gonna be masterpiece scale then. So I was like, wait, didn't Toy World do an IDW Prime like for the classics
Oh,
line?
wow. That looks nice.
That's yeah,
This back part looks
That looks
better
clean.
than
That looks
MP10.
clean.
cleans up really well, yeah.
It does.
But at the same time, I don't know, man. I still think MP10 kind of has it because that doesn't look at it taking.
Third-party people,
Tire butt.
you better throw fits over this because you did on Ironhide and Ratchet.
Yep.
Throw fits. They probably won't now. They'll be like, oh no, man, it's actually
That's the greatest
place
thing
for it.
in one screen of the G1 cartoon for 0.2 seconds. You can kind of see that he had tires on his butt.
I'm a fan of the tire butt.
I like tire, but I think that's a nice place for the tires to go. To be quite honest,
I think it adds a lot of character to the toy,
By having him have a dunk-a-dunk?
and it makes for fun picture taking.
Okay. Tire butt.
Steve, he likes the tire butt too. He's not going to body shame. So
Attaboy.
it is a nice head, though. I like that head.
That looks good.
It is larger than MP10. Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Ooh.
this thing.
Toy World as well. We've seen some better pictures of this, but these are the magazine scans. But
The
seeing
real
them in
thing to look at
helicopter,
here
it
is
looks
blues.
good. Well, that's next. But the helicopter looks good.
Helicopter and car mode look pretty decent.
That robot mode is
It's
awful,
not terrific,
though.
but I mean, it's not bad.
That's debatable, but that doesn't look good. But I love the helicopter mode.
Yeah, helicopter mode looks nice.
Like, if you got that, just get a flight stand and leave them that way the entire time. Which nobody would do.
No. And so let's just look at a up-close look at that bad robot mode.
Ugh. I don't like that car either. It looks weird.
I mean, I don't like it, but I don't think it's all that terrible.
Oh, I think.
I don't know, man. I
think
have
it's pretty terrible.
a $19.99 Generations toy sitting on the shelf that's just still perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Move on to blues.
Finally,
And,
they're
saw
making
someone
some
in the
sense.
chat were saying they were wanting a masterpiece. Jazz, maybe from one of those people that buys third party, maybe this holds you over or something like that. But probably next week we'll get better pictures of them.
I mean, there was that generation toy Jazz that just came out that basically looks like a upscaled classics version.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, that looks great, but for a masterpiece, I think this is the route you should take.
If you're going third party.
Yeah, if you're going third party. But I mean, look at it. The car mode looks like Jazz. The robot mode looks like Jazz. You can even.
I like how they got like a nice kind of blend between how he looked in the cartoon and then his legs, how they kind of look like the G1 toy.
Yeah. And then you can have the option for the doors on the side too. It looks like, you know, you can either hide them away like the cartoon or bring them
Yeah.
out like on the toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know, I like this. Good job, Toy World. Now where you at, Takora?
All right, a lot of you guys are collecting this Diaclone figure back here, YouTube. So, Perfect Effect making their little add-in or stand-in for them to go with that series.
Wide stance, power stance.
Yeah, them's some strong ball joints right there, or whatever kind of joints they are.
You know what? Alphatron92, he says, you know what this means? Masterpiece Jazz incoming.
Mm?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I've heard about a Masterpiece Jazz for years now.
Okay. Hang on a second.
What's going on here?
That looks like the little Star Saber for Masterpiece.
Little brain of courage, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let them have it.
Anyway, so a lot of you guys, you know, you're collecting this guy back here, so if you pick this up from Perfect Effect. All right, X-Trans bots. They have the information. They've added some or clarified or whatever that they are changing to this. So we've covered this before, but wanted to share the new pictures and also the list of the things that they're going to be going over. So, what's new? Refined easy broken weak parts in the car side with rotation. Add the hill stabilizer. Add fist rotation helper. What does that even look like? I don't know what that. Okay. Add knee tightness. Add posable crotch piece.
Nice. They always need a posable crotch.
Refined wheel rolling. That's good. Cancel the folding stopper at the elbow with the car sides. Okay. Strengthening the knee. Knee more.
Is that straighten or strengthening?
I'm not sure.
Strengthen?
I'm going to say maybe strengthen.
I think it's supposed to be straightened because the
R, the E, and the I, they make an A sound.
all the way out.
Okay. So straighten the knee. Knee more greater than type posing. Way up.
Knee more greater than type posing.
I love English. I really do.
That's the way I read it the first time. Whenever I was looking over this, and I was just laughing. I was like, "Knee more greater than type."
English is not their primary language.
No,
Make fun of them. Cut them some slack.
Here's the point: is I think that they're saying that the knee has more of a more than a 90-degree type posing. Like, so I guess this is the thigh and this is the calf. Maybe that's what they're saying. But I read it as greater than type posing. All right, so tighten the thigh loose.
The thigh loose.
Sliding movement on the backpack more smoothly. Stress mark proof refinement. Shining polish of the car surface of the car. Driving room cover. With clear plastic and more die-cast in the thigh.
So basically, you're looking at almost an
completely redesigned figure, but it's same design, but like.
So they kept the same thighs. That's what I'm seeing here.
And
same thighs, same this.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. And honestly, I have the original one. I've never transformed it. I had the buddy of mine that I bought it from transform it because he knew what he was doing. And I've left it like that ever since. I like the way that it looks. I really do. But everything about it terrifies me. What? Okay, so his legs can be straight, but he's still leaning back.
Yeah, but look at that rotating crotch, though, man.
Well, that's true. I want to see the greater than thigh thing. I want to see what he was talking about with the knee bend.
It doesn't have any bending knees here, so.
If you're gonna tell us the stuff, and that's just funny. You go through that whole list, and that was all the stuff that was wrong with the figure. So you know that was a bad figure.
Oh yeah. And if I saw like one of the like one on eBay and like you're really wanting one, then I would just like totally wait. Like I wouldn't pay $5 for that thing.
Yeah.
All right, and Iron Factory. Another just shot at these guys here for Mr. Selfish.
So cool. They're like these are getting more and more difficult to pass up.
And what do we got? DX9 has some screens or some screenshots. Their figure in the mag.
Oh, interesting.
You know, on the wheelie, I actually went with the Dakota because whenever I was looking at it for pre-order, I was like, the Dakar's like just $4 or $5 more, and you get Ghost Shooter with it.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, let me get that.
Here's Megatron with his little tiny gun mode. That cup doesn't look all that bad.
Oh.
What's it? Are they showing like pictures of it transforming or something?
Yep.
Jesus.
They're
DNA
taking your jab.
Oh, seriously, I didn't even look at these prior, so I was like, I didn't even realize they were even blurred. So
we're just gonna pixelate these.
Oh, jerks! But I believe it's supposed to be Bludgeon.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks pretty cool.
Like, he's totally nude here. So
people love their Bludgeon figures.
Yeah, let's see. We got one from what was that? Hunt for the Decepticons. We're getting another one from the club, which it's not as bludgeony as Bludgeon could be, but whatever.
Yeah. What am I looking at here?
KFC.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
They're gonna give you some of them articulated fingers.
Oh.
You know, for this mold, you kind of need it because you lose like half of his freaking hands right outside of the box.
That's true. Those things like pop off. You sneeze on them and they pop off.
Yeah, even on the Dakota.
I never had a problem with him. It was always MP10 and like Soundwave and like those type guys.
Soundwave, the thumb always pops off on my Soundwave.
Their fingers would just fly across the room.
It was always the trigger finger, man. I couldn't count how many times I would, I'd be posing them, it'd fall off or, fling across the room, and there goes my Saturday.
Alphatron wants to know, Primal Selfish, you like
Don't even ask him that question. Don't even ask him that question. We're going to waste another 10 minutes listening to his dumbass talk about it.
I love Masterpiece.
Ah!
I think it achieves a better beast mode than what Primal went for, although I still think Primal's beast mode looks good. And the robot mode is just perfect. Like, it's everything like that they should have done with the classics one.
Except for he's got legs just hanging out from his back and stuff like that.
No, that's how his character model was.
Yeah, you know what?
He got leg butt.
Doesn't look good, leg butt. So Blue, they got a little add-on here. Figured that you might be able to clue me in on what all exactly has changed here, but
it looks like they took his side main pieces off, and I don't know why.
To give him this new head. You like that?
Oh, just a new head? That's not worth it. I mean, the head sculpt on the original Live Convoy is already good. Now, if they were to really give it an add-on, they would they would do something with that mane, and that may be why that piece is off, that little side piece, because it covers the face. So maybe they're gonna do something with that. I don't know why they have the foot taken off either. That doesn't, and the thigh piece. I don't know what's up with that.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll look at it some more later. I'm
We
sure.
need
Uh-oh.
you tell us your opinion on the beast cheats. I don't even know what that is. Beast cheats. All right, so getting into the stuff that's non-transformers. First off, I thought we'd start off with Machine Robo. Poor Count Marzo, man. He just put his wallet back into his pocket. Now he's got to take it out again.
Yeah. Gotta learn them.
He's probably going to be like, oh my god, did they never stop? You know? So he's used to Masters of the Universe coming like, what, once every month or 2 months or something like that.
He's spending money now. Spending dollar bills.
I believe it's supposed to be Turbo. I don't remember all their names, but I think I remember Turbo being a name for one of them. So, any Machine Robo GoBot fans out there? This is for you.
There's like 3 of them. This is Space Shuttle Man.
Yeah. You're I don't know.
That is one thing that I do like about what GoBots did. If you had like this is a space shuttle, its name probably is like Shuttle. I mean,
They kept it simple.
yeah, they kept it very simple. You know, I mean, you had a dump truck that was dump truck.
Please
I mean,
tell me his name.
Well, you had the was it like a Levo or something? Was it Tux or something like that? I forget what it was.
Tux, yeah.
But yeah, I know they're not GoBots, the Machine Robo, but also here in America, you know, off of the characters, they were called GoBots. So.
Right.
Oh, some people are saying that his name is Spacey.
Oh, see? Spacey.
That's actually a pretty nice looking. And I do think these look pretty nice. You know, for it's kind of simple as they're kind of staying.
Yeah.
So.
And here's
Black
Jet.
Blackbird. Yeah. What did they call him? Somebody. Alphatron 92 says Bubba, or did you already have that type before we pulled it?
I think he already had that type.
I was like, man, that's kind of from left field. Gonna call this guy
Jetfire. Jetfire is my name.
Snoop. Okay.
I think his name is Snoop. That makes sense because he's a spy plane. All right. They might be just screwing with this dude, and those are not their names. They're just coming up with something crazy.
All right. And who's this guy?
Is it mix truck? Mixer?
Concrete. I'm taking a guess. I'm just taking.
Concrete?
I'm guessing. I'm just guessing until one of them says what it is.
I think I'm.
Oh, her name is.
Oh, that's a girl. Oh.
Y'all
I'm
be
not
ashamed of
that
yourself.
clever.
I couldn't tell. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to shame her or anything. You know. I was just.
How dare you? How dare you?
All right.
Robo
Dump.
Probably.
Oh, thanks, guys, man. Because I have no idea what their names were. So, all right. So the club. This is going to be offered to people that are part of the Transformer Transformer Club and also Joe Club. You're going to have your crossover here. So you're going to have the Rat Bat, which I signed up for, so that I can get the masterpiece, and then I'm going to end up selling the rest of this to Dakota.
Dakota doesn't need it. Coda's gonna get the set.
Oh, well, I guess.
Dakota always needs 2 of everything.
Yeah, but the others need to be sealed. See what Josh is doing. He's just taking them out. He's taking one of them out.
I just want this one here. That's the only one I want.
Well, guess what, buddy?
It's cool that because originally the Ravage repaint and the Blaster repaint, I don't know their names. I'm not good with the names, but
this is it's a variant shattered glass type of blaster to where he's Canadian.
So all fiction right there. But I mean, it's like I thought it was cool because we originally thought we were just gonna get the 3 Joes, the hologram Megatron, and the Rat Bat, but they kind of snuck in a couple other pieces on it. I think it's gonna be a pretty neat set, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I don't collect any Joes, so like I have one Cobra one that I really like, and like that's it. And I just set him, that's kind of like I guess my snake, from Only Human, standing because I haven't, I didn't go buy that, that big pack or whatever. So I've got him, and then that's kind of it. So I don't really collect any Joes anymore. I had them when I was a kid, so I don't have a reason to, have just these 3 random GI Joes sitting on the.
I've kind of like got a shelf set aside for the Joe Transformer stuff, and it kind of makes me want to go back and buy those San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that they came out with.
Well, I think I got myself a Skyfire set if you want to buy that from me.
I'll keep it in mind. Does it come with the Hound too?
Yeah, I've never opened it. It's the whole set.
Wow.
I bought it honestly because I was like, this whole Harmony Gold thing is gonna make this thing worth $1 million, so I'm gonna buy it.
And it didn't.
It didn't crap to it, so I'm like, I'm just gonna put
it. If anything, it cemented freaking Macross, Robotech, whatever. Just kind of put that in the grave.
Yeah.
All right, getting into Funko exclusives. I know there's a lot of Funko and Pop collectors, so I figured, for what, we'll look at this real quick. Also, because this guy's in here, it's a little 3 packs.
Oh.
I like that. Look how cute they look. There's
I like Vanellope. Vanellope von Schweetz.
Oh, there's for Dakota. A little power.
You know me so well.
I know. And Dakota. Oh, the statue. Where they spray it, false god. Okay.
That's creative.
I heard a lot of people say that they were excited about this one right here. From the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, a buddy of mine's super excited about it. It's like, Dark Crystal, yeah! I ain't got time for that.
All right, the Thundercats, a little bit of information about them. This will be available for pre-order Meta collectors, so it was from June 16th for subscriber only, so the early access. And from June 17th to the 26th for everyone else for all access, but that's just so that you can pick it up in person at San Diego Comic-Con. So the thing is not a pre-order for, or early access to buy them, to get them to ship to you. You have to be, another thing, you have to be there at the con to get.
The Cement Trunk GoBot, thanks to Cameron, has told us that the Cement Truck GoBot is named Blockhead.
Okay.
There it is.
And the box is pretty impressive.
No, that's pretty cool looking.
And you can see the back and stuff like that. So I really hope, Paul, like you said last week, that, this whole thing being exclusive is to get it with the box.
Yeah.
We will, hopefully they do announce that, we will come out with these 2 key characters.
If they don't do them just as part of the regular thing, people are going to riot and shank someone. I mean, Toy Guru doesn't work for Mattel anymore, but somebody will find him and stab him, blaming him for it.
It's all his fault.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, good night, man. Marvel, we can see a clearer picture of what the Build-A-Figure, the Space Venom, so a little bit clearer picture on him. Let me see what this is, because there's no, it's not yet. There's kind of a spoiler on here. It may be. I mean, it's a toy that's coming out. You know about it, but it was a spoiler to me. It's Walking Dead. We'll get into it whenever it comes up. I want to make sure that I'll warn people. I think it's a few down here. So anyway, Suicide Squad. figures. You can see what they look like and build a figure. I believe it's Croc. Yeah.
Suicide Squad Batman?
No, you see him briefly in the trailers.
I know. Oh no, you don't see. Oh, you see him jumping on the back of the car with his like cape out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's those two and Joker. You got
Matt
Deadshot.
Tracker.
No.
Oh, very. He looks so much like Will Smith, you guys. They did such a good job.
You know what? You know, this is something that I'm going to point my finger to. People, I've started reviewing the female Ghostbuster figures, and people bitch and complain because they don't look like the actresses. That does not look like Will Smith at all.
And
Now, Margot Robbie, not bad.
here's something I want to point out is there's a couple of different variants of her, which we'll get into. This one you can see that she has a jacket here, okay? See the bat, very long right here, so a couple of different Harleys because that's who they're gonna. That's the DC's, their Deadpool, which they're gonna be really pushing Harley Quinn stuff. So
Yeah.
and here's another Harley with the jacket and a mallet. So now you've got two different Harleys to buy.
Ugh.
All right.
I think the mallet's going to be the more popular.
Now you have three Harleys to buy because now here's the bat and it's over here now and without the jacket.
Son of a.
So enjoy your three different Harley Quinns.
You're milking Harley like you wouldn't believe.
What's sad is like
Whoa,
Hasbro isn't even milking Deadpool all that much. Like they're releasing the one and we're all like slobbering over it.
So yeah, three Harleys. Oh, okay. I'm sorry here. All right.
Oh.
So this next thing that I'm going to show you, it may be a little bit of spoiler. It may not be. To me, if you watch The Walking Dead, the TV series on AMC, we know someone has been killed.
Apparently turned into a zombie.
All right. Well, no. I'm going to switch over to it in a second. I didn't want to be on there. So, but in the comic, it already revealed who was killed. People that don't read the comic and they just watch the television show, like me, it's kind of a spoiler to me. So if you're one like me, you may want to, I guess, walk away for about 3 minutes and then you can come back. So I'm going to show it right now. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys that spoiler as kind of a courtesy. All right, so this is based off the comic series, and this is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Negan, the bad guy, at the end of the series of this last season, and then it comes in a 2-pack with Glenn. Now, the reason for this, you can see Glenn doesn't really look like him, but
oh, there it is.
You get a couple different verts. So you got Glenn with his regular face, and then there is his bashed-in head, which, if you watch the TV series, that's whenever, Negan, he takes the bat to somebody. So you got two different, versions here. But again, I don't know this but apparently, comic book readers, they were like, "Oh, you guys didn't know this." I'm like, "Well, I just watched the AMC series. I don't read the comics." So to me, this was kind of a spoiler, or it is a spoiler.
I know, yeah.
That was probably one of the most brutal things I've seen in a comic book.
So
was that whole scene.
It's like people that read the Game of Thrones books before they aired the TV episode or whatever. They always knew and would rub it in our faces. Bastards.
Yeah. So, all right, we're done with that. But yeah, that kind of run it for me. So, because I wanted to have all that anticipation. Maybe they'll go off of the do the comic, or maybe they'll do something a little bit different else.
It could be like what they do with Game of Thrones, that change something up here and there. You never know.
Yeah, we will find out.
All right, so getting into the NECA stuff, you're gonna have the Ultimate Evil Dead Ash here.
I saw somebody complaining. Now I've never seen this, but apparently he's got like a very iconic kind of weapon, like a gun or something like that. And
Chainsaw?
I don't know, something that he's known for having. And apparently fans are complaining because this is the ultimate version of him and he doesn't include it. Ha 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 ha.
Well, he doesn't have his chainsaw arm either. The little plug-in for that. I don't know about much about this movie series, or I
Yeah.
know they came out with a TV series as well. I'm not into horror stuff, but it's NECA. I know there's it's kind of a cult following.
Yeah. Nika.
Cameron says I thought it was supposed to be a sawed-off shotgun, so maybe it is.
Maybe.
The other thing is maybe this is it, and I don't. I'm just guessing here. We don't see the chainsaw there, so maybe he doesn't get that yet, and maybe he hasn't sawed this off yet. So maybe this is kind of supposed to be before he gets all that stuff. I don't know. I don't watch the movie, but I'm just assuming because you're missing two important things there that I know that are iconic for the character.
But yeah, if this is the ultimate version, you would think that they would include that stuff. I don't know. That's what people were complaining about, though, about that.
NECA does a much better job of capturing the likeness of, these actors like Bruce Campbell here.
Oh, yeah. Brains.
Chainsaw was Army of Darkness. See, you guys know better than I do. I don't watch these. I do watch Rocky, though. Series 1 that we looked at a couple of weeks ago. It's supposed to be hitting retailers, but Series 2 is scheduled to ship in October. So
I still have not seen Rocky yet.
These are from Rocky 4.
I know Ivan Drenko, though. Who likes short shorts?
I was the best Punisher.
If you dare wear short shorts, never wear short shorts.
I've got like blood there.
Yeah. Bloody
crotch. Hit, obviously.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he's all busted up.
So we'll look at them. And for the kind of doll-ish NECA stuff,
yeah,
got Christmas Vacation.
I wish they would just do full-on figures instead of this retro stuff. We talked about this last week with the Bill and Ted stuff, and I like it, but I don't like it. I am really torn on these. And the head sculpt looks nice, though.
All right, going for the quarter scale. These should, let's see, they're available now at the NECA eBay store. They're going to be $105 plus shipping. Going to be shipping to retailers soon. So this is quarter scale. I know, Bill. Very un-American of them.
Yes, I have not seen Rocky. I'm thinking because I haven't seen Rocky, Donald Trump might kick me out of the country.
If he doesn't, the rest of us should.
Oh, that's hardcore.
Yeah, this brings or reminds me of one of the topics that I was going to bring up, but we'll probably have to say that for next week just because I'm running out of time here. But it gives me a chance to try to remember all of them. I had to reset my phone to factory, and then I forgot that I didn't write down all my notes that I had, so they're all lost.
What a noob.
All right, just like we saw NECA quarter scale, this is going to be on display at Comic-Con. It's going to release October. This is going to be super limited and only going to be for one run only. So they said once it's gone, it's gone. It's only doing that one run. So if you want this, then
Get it.
we'll definitely keep you posted. We'll probably have some more information on it after San Diego Comic-Con on as far as dates and when you can probably order this off the NECA eBay page. So we'll keep you posted.
Why does this crotch look like it's an alien just itself? You got like the eyes and the little mouth right there.
Oh, see.
It looks like Forlom's face.
We
from,
can't discuss
Star
that
Wars.
on air.
Let's see what we got here. Titanfall 2. These are going to be 7-inch and 10 inches.
People still into Titanfall? That's still pretty
McFarlane stuff.
I guess.
I mean, they're coming out with a 2. So
good. Yeah.
Apparently, like, it's all the rave because it has a single player thing, I guess. I don't know.
Dakota, it's McFarlane, so you're going to get it, right?
Oh, man. Not in the 7-inch. Like, if he scaled it like he did the Halo toys, where they were, they were definitely like 5-inch.
Yeah, the 3-inch pilot and then the 10-inch thing here, so. All right, and M.A.S.K. These are already up for pre-order. They're going to be releasing in November 2016 to January 2017. They're going to be $75.
Mm.
Oh yeah, and this is 6-inch.
That's 6-inch?
Yeah.
For $75?
Yes, sir.
Ouch!
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
Going back to the underwear on the outside look, though.
And again, this is where I would have just went with the NECA Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
That morning, Martha let Clark dress himself.
Well, I gotta wonder. I'm like, if he's got his underwear on the outside, do you think he's got underwear underneath all that? I mean,
Let's
just
be honest.
layers and layers of underwear.
If you're fighting crime, you probably want to do so comfortably. That's all I'm going to say.
That, and you might want to have if you're going up against Brainiac, you might want to have a couple changes of underwear. Yeah, just get the NECA.
All right, so what else we got? Bill says Super Pass. All right, for Dakota, this is who is this? Kaya Yoda.
Looks really good. Waiting on Amazon to pick it up because I've seen like BBTS has it for $68, which is unacceptable for a Revoltech. But a couple of the Japanese sites have them for like $46. So I'm going to see what Amazon can do. But it looks very pretty. Apparently it's that 6-inch scale as well, so it fit right in with Legends. I love it. I just don't love it for $80.
You're so cheap. You're a huge Deadpool fan. We always find these Deadpool things for you. Hot Toys,
$30 to have it shipped to you.
No, I'm not.
Where are you gonna Amazon? Where? Japan?
No, Amazon, like Amazon.
Amazon? Oh.
Yeah, Amazon carries Revoltex. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where whenever I collected the Evangelion Revoltex, I got them all from Amazon. They were all like $20-$30.
Now, I'll tell you that if I had this, he would have the heart eyes the entire time. Like, I wouldn't even bother getting the other eyes out of the box.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I like it. The Revoltech, like, they have their problems, those little joints. They're not perfect, so...
Yeah.
But I definitely look forward to picking it up. I'm just not going to pick it up for $70.
All right, and can show this off, but they don't have any other information on release date or price at this point. But Storm Collectibles, this is going to be 6 inches, or it's supposed to be a 6-inch scale, 1/12. But Ryu.
You know, we're always talking about the unrealistic standards that Barbie sets. Let's talk about the unrealistic standards that
right.
Street Fighter sets.
Amen.
I don't know about you. Women, I do look like this whenever my shirt's off. This is exactly
Yeah,
what I look like.
ladies, I'm totally buff like that. I just want you to know.
Just underneath the layers of blubber in.
I have a 6-pack just in my chest.
That's right.
Jeez.
That's right. You just can't see it. It's not my fault.
Dude, I'd be happy to have my 6-pack back just in my stomach. Dude, this dude's got it in his chest.
Okay, this is getting very awkward.
It's getting very sad, isn't it?
I know. Oh, a bunch of fat fatties now.
That's right.
Getting into the 1/6 scale, you're going to have Soldier Story going to be coming out with the Ghostbusters, but not only your original Ghostbusters, but for people like Paul, also the new Ghostbusters as well.
There you go.
So
I've never gotten more dislikes on a video or review of mine than I have.
No kidding.
For the video that I posted on Friday. What is it up to now? Just out of curiosity, I'm curious. I'm sure that I have videos that have other dislikes, probably more than I mean, I have videos that have more views, but since Friday, I have gotten there are 114 dislikes on that video compared to 125 likes.
Oh, so you're starting to feel like Activision with that new Call of Duty
I
video,
was
aren't
about
you?
to say.
Killing me. I was talking to. I have a buddy of mine that actually works for Activision. That the animation when you reload the gun, that whole animation is his. He's responsible for that, and he's like, Activision is freaking out about that whole, like
Good.
the thumbs down and dislikes and stuff.
Dude,
they're freaking out.
It's because they were wanting you to pay $120 to get COD 4 remastered.
Well, it's
That's
because we
stupid.
want boots on the ground. We're tired of this flying around stuff, all right? And the thing is it's too late to put boots on the ground because there's 3 different companies working on Call of Duty, so they all kind of like, hey, we're doing this jumping around shit. And so the third one's like, you know, they're already working on the game, you know, when the first one started doing, you know, the jump around stuff. So I think next Call of Duty after this one,
I'll pass that info on for you.
we want
Call of Duty 4 remastered, and we don't want to have to buy a special edition of Black Ops 3 to get it either.
And I want Black Ops 1 remastered. All right.
These look good.
1/6 scale. These are going to actually be from QMX. These are going to actually be at San Diego Comic-Con for
Look
sale.
at that Shatner belly bump, too. You see that?
Yeah, a little bit. Hey, why are you shaming? Shaming his belly. Come on
Could be
now.
between like $180 and $200.
I think it looks good. Likeness is pretty spot on, if you ask me.
Yeah, I know there's a few
I
Star
think they
Trek
did a
fans.
better job of taking the picture. That last picture was like blurry.
Yeah, well. Go through these kind of quick, but yeah, there are a few Star Trek fans that watch the show, so.
Yeah. I would pick these figures up. I am a Star Trek fan. In fact, I can hear my wife is downstairs watching The Next Generation. I just heard the theme song for it. And now she's yelling at me. Yeah, I like it. Are these? Did you say these are going to be for sale at San Diego Comic-Con, or you can just see them there?
They're actually going to have them for sale at San Diego
Oh,
Comic-Con.
nice. Oh, there it is.
Giving you a massage, Kirk.
That's right. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. Like, look, we can hold our
stuff you can
belt
do.
buckle up.
Yeah. Just in case you wanted a nice shot of the rear end.
That's right.
All right, Sideshow. They're going to have a couple San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. R2-D2. That's supposed to be the unpainted prototype. Let me see what the price was. I think it was like $129 or something like that. $120.
Yeah.
And you can actually pre-order these at Sideshow.
Yeah, and then pick it up at the show. I think you can still.
Cool. Isn't Mattel doing something like that?
Huh?
No, they'll actually ship these out after the con, so you can order them, which I thought was very nice of Sideshow, to where they're not doing that whole thing. You can pre-order this and then you have to pick it up at the show. It's you can pre-order it and then after the con we'll ship yours out.
Ship it, yeah.
Very nice.
Start
Paul,
taking notes,
please tell them
Hasbro.
thank you.
I will do so for you. But I like that. This is an interesting concept. This is supposed to represent R2 as if he just came off of the assembly line right before he got his classic paint scheme. I think that's kind of a cool idea. And it's got the lights. It's got the. Doesn't it have like Doesn't it do sounds too? I think.
No. I don't think so. No.
Well, what do you know?
Well, I have an R2, so.
Oh. Well, it's got lights, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm half right.
It's got magnets and
Yeah.
lights. Oh God. All right, there we go.
Fancy.
All right, and this is from Sideshow. So this is, let's see what else.
IG88.
Well, yeah, I know it's IG88, but they said it's going to be a more movie-accurate paint scheme and fabric bandolier. He's going to have weapon loadouts include new concussion grenades and a Blast Tech E11 blaster and the DLT-28 blast rifle. He's going to stand 14.5 inches tall, 20 points of articulation, $200. You can pre-order it right now.
For you
Like
Star
AG
Wars fans, you know, there's a couple of you out there. Most people like Star Trek.
Hey.
But, you know.
I like IG88. What was your favorite scene with IG88, Dakota?
You know that one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Mm.
You tell me first, and
I
have a feeling we're gonna agree.
I like that one too.
He's an assassin bounty hunter, like Bosk, Orlum, Boba Fett, to where Darth Vader, they're all standing up there, and Darth Vader's like, you know, find the Millennium Falcon and report back.
Oh yeah, his little bounty hunter meeting.
Yeah. You see him for, you know, just a couple seconds. I think just his feet, maybe.
That's possible. That looks like the feet of a robot. That's what this guy looks like. He looks like a real-life version of Bender.
Oh my goodness.
No, he doesn't look... okay, because he came out in, was it 79? Over 30 years ago. All
Bender
right.
looks like a cartoon version of him.
Okay, yeah.
Is that what you're going for?
I'll let you say that.
I'll argue Bender is a much more popular character than IG88.
Maybe.
What? Dude.
No,
Okay.
no,
I'm going to let the IG88 fans out there know.
Right.
Oh, really? What famous 5 words does IG88 have? I can tell you they're not "kiss my shiny metal ass."
Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't speak English.
Right.
So
better.
here is another thing. So these were exclusive to the China, like Disney store or whatever it was.
Shanghai Disneyland.
Yeah. So if you did want these, pre-orders are going to go live on Thursday, June 23rd. And no price at this point, but that's going to be at Sideshow. So Sideshow has been able to get some stock.
I'm curious if they're going to do the other ones because there's this. I don't know. Do you have all 3 of the exclusives? Do you have those 3 pulled up, or just the Stormtroopers?
Just Stormtroopers.
Okay. Well, there's this gold chrome version of the Stormtrooper that you will be able to get there. There's also a gold chrome version of the Iron Man Mark 21, I think, which is the Midas armor. and you'll be able to get that there as well. It's all gold chrome plastic.
All right, and lastly, Hot Toys War Machine.
Why do you always save the Hot Toy stuff for the very, very end?
That's how we keep you on.
Mess with me.
Just the way I do it, man.
I guess.
I've got a system.
I got you. That's beefy. He's beefy looking. I don't know honestly if that's enough for me to trade in my Mark II. But
You don't want the Billy Club that he tried to beat Captain America up with?
Don't know about that. Don't know about that. The Billy Club.
All right, so that's all I got for those. I did remember 2 topics, but they're actually long. They're drawn out. We're already over 2 hours. So again, I'll keep those for next week. Hopefully we can get to them because Pete is going to be coming on. I'm going to try to remember what the other questions were because they're really good.
Pete is long-winded, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
talk about long-winded.
Well, I was going to say we're all very long-winded.
I know that was a jab at all of us just in general.
it's going to be a 5-hour show. All right, so we're going to end it there. A couple of little notes here. We did have David from M.A.S.K Comics on, talked a little bit about M.A.S.S towards the beginning of the video. I'm going to have the links to where you can find him and his art and stuff like that on the Facebook page in the description as soon as this goes into video form. So if you want to, you can go back and watch that video form and check that out. Cybercast next week, we're going to have Pete Sinclair to discuss JoeCon and also JoeCon being with FunPub for through 2018 as well, and maybe we can squeeze a little bit of Transformer stuff out of them as well. We probably will. And if you guys are interested in hanging out with me after this here in about 10 minutes, I will leave a link to this hangout where you can come hang out on my Facebook page, the G1 Hextron. So if you guys have questions and stuff like that, I see some of you guys have them in the comments. You have questions, stuff like that. If you want me to answer that, I'll do it in there. It's not going to go live or anything like that. So if you just want to hang out, it's open. And next is Optibotimus. You also have a show that you're doing, at about 40.
About 45 minutes or so, yeah. You can. I'll post the links for that on my Twitter and Facebook page, but it's ustream.tv/channel/Optibotimus.
All right, and I guess that is it. Collection spotlight. If you want to be spotlighted on the Cybercast as far as your collection goes, send about 10 to 20, 25 pictures. However big your collection is, just kind of factor that in, how many pictures you take. Send that to the email G1Hextron at gmail.com along with what you want to be referred to as, and we'll take a look at that next following week. Dakota, where can people find you, man?
You can find me everywhere at PrimalSabbath.
Primal Selfish.
There you go. And Paul, where can people find you, man?
You can find me YouTube and Twitter at Optibotimus. Facebook, I think I said it was, I think I screwed it up initially, but it's facebook.com/TeamBotimus.
Yeah, you said the Botimus earlier.
I think.
All right, and you can find me, G1Hextron, on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch at G1Hextron, or my Facebook page, the G1Hextron. So I'll put that link here on the page in a couple of minutes, and I'll probably be in there in about 10. So talk to you guys later. Have a nice day. Peace.
See you later, guys.